Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. I still can't get light. Ooh, it's lighter. Nice. Okay, Germany Part 2, preemptive like. Let's do it. So I watched Part 1 a long time ago. But let's go. My name's Connor. I like to learn things. How are you? Great. Original link to the video, top of the description. Right below that, link to the Discord. Love to have you. Let's go.
This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. And yes, that means that I've been setting up my very own website.
Make sure to use the /Sweeney if you get Squarespace. Helps them out, gives them money.
Using their super easy to use web design tools and templates, it's been an absolute blast. Use the offer code Sweeney or head to squarespace.com/Sweeney for 10% off your brand new website. The homeland of the Heathen was once the far north. From the groves and forests to the streams and oceans, they lived in isolation from their kin for centuries. Out of necessity, the wisest and strongest among them ventured out, taking with them those brave enough to inhabit the Central European plateau. Their isolation had left them marked by their eyes the color of oceans and their hair made of liquid gold or the amber that the sea spat onto their shores. In times of famine, they battled the marshes, the curse of troll's skin, and the flies sent by Woden to punish dishonorable men. When the famines lifted, they fought with each other for soil and till, as well as the great Roman hegemony to the south. Some barbarians would trade with the empire, and some would wage war on the silver-armored despots. The Romans, seeing the threat, would push further into the frontier beyond the great Rhine River, which they called Germania.
Pay attention, phones away, even if you're watching on one. If you are not ready to learn, there's the door. Home ec is down the hall, my friend. Copy someone's notes. In my first episode, I skipped over many of the important periods that made Germany the nation it is today. Also, the periods I did cover ended up not being fully fleshed out. In an effort to rectify this, I will be making a brand new history of Germany into its own series, and I have the same plans for many other of my old videos. Cool. If you'd like to support these recreations, please consider signing up to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Sweeney. Do it. Okay,
as mentioned on this channel, the Germanic culture was founded in southern Scandinavia, where settlers from the Pontic Caspian steppe and the Caucasian mountains had migrated. Central Europe at this time was dominated by other peoples, the largest of which were the Celts, who were being slowly conquered by the Romans from Italy. These Proto-Germans had strong cultural traditions. They had chieftains and governing assemblies called Thingr, where all free men would gather to interpret the words of the law speaker on secular matters. Religious leaders held ceremonies and rituals, and they worshipped deities such as Woden, Donar, and others. We know these in English as Odin and Thor.
Gandalf.
Proto-Germans had migrated out of Scandinavia around the 5th century BC in response to increased demand for farmland, since Scandinavia could not support the growing population. This will sound familiar to those who've seen the
Some Germans had Celtic last names, suggesting at least some degree of intermarriage between cultures.
Episodes on Denmark and Sweden, since the same would cause the Vikings to raid Europe over a millennia later. These Germanic tribes drove out or subsumed the Celts who already lived in the area between the Maas River in the Netherlands to the Vistula River in Poland. Julius Caesar viewed the Germanic barbarians as a threat to Italy and used this as well as other reasons to conquer Transalpine Gaul in order to set up a borderland near the Rhine Valley. During the Gallic Wars, the Romans began their conquest of Germania on the west side of the Rhine River, which was incorporated into Roman Gaul, and then divided into two provinces in 85 AD, Germania Inferior and Superior, with the Romans founding the cities of Cologne and Mainz as imperial capitals. The lands east of the Rhine were called Germania Magna, or Greater Germany. Germania Magna was not one state, but rather several undeveloped tribal confederations who traded with the Romans at Limes Germania, as well as the Proto-Slavic and Eastern Baltic cultures. They referred to themselves by these tribal names, but also on some occasions as Theudisk, meaning people, which would eventually form the modern words Teutons and Deutsch, meaning German. From 12 BC to 6 AD, the Roman might came crashing down on Germania Magna, conquering all the way to the Elbe River under the reign of Augustus. However, a general named Arminius, a German prince captured and raised by the Romans, betrayed the Roman armies and led an ambush of the legions in Teutoburg Forest, forcing a retreat back to the Rhine River.
That could be like a movie.
Never again would the Romans rule Germania Magna.
Yeah, I'll react to that, sure.
The
Oh, hold on, guys. That's my other video. Sorry, continue.
Worst Rhine River. Never again would the Romans rule Germania Magna after one of the worst defeats in Roman history. Overall, the Germans had mostly a trade and mercenary-based relationship with the Romans, and many Germans even settled in the empire. But with their growing populations, they became ever more powerful, and raids on the empire became more and more common. Just as the Roman frontier was weakening, a huge-scale migration of Goths was happening, from their homeland in Sweden to the Vistula of Poland, and then to Crimea, and many Goths became pirates on the Black Sea. The Goths were a ferocious and powerful tribe, and many other groups such as the Vandals, Burgundians, Alemanni, and Macromani pushed further into Rome to escape.
Lombards. This is huge. Oh my god, when first learning about Rome, can I give myself a pat? I've come quite a long way. When I first learned about Rome, I knew nothing. I know who Caesar was, sort of, but all of these names, like the Lombards, the Vandals, the Goths, the Celts, whatever, Franks, finally starting to understand them, it is so satisfying.
The Goths in the north and east. Rome struggled for many years against these tribes, barely managing to hold back the Chatti, Chauci, and the Macromani. The Goths then split into two factions, the Ostrogoths and the Visigoths. However, real large-scale invasions would be triggered by yet another force. The Huns, probably cousins of the Xiongnu, invaded Europe in 373 like wildfire, destroying everything in their path. They subjugated the Ostrogoths and harassed the other Germans and Romans alike. Soon, other Germanic tribes pushed into the weak heart of Rome while fleeing from Attila and his powerful armies. The Visigoths would sack and plunder Rome under King Alaric in 455, before eventually conquering and settling in Spain. The Vandals conquered a kingdom in northern Africa and Carthage, and also sacked Rome when a political marriage betrothal was broken by Rome. The sack of the city was so wanton that vandalism came to be the word for wholesale destruction in the Latin language. The Ostrogoths revolted against the Hunnic Empire and
still used today.
Once it collapsed, also eventually conquered parts of the Adriatic coastline before settling in the Kingdom of Italy. The rest of Rome was now ripe for the picking. The Burgundians negotiated a kingdom for themselves northwest of Italy. Part of the Suebi Confederation conquered the west of Spain, while the rest settled north of the Burgundians under the name Alemanni. The Franks took the lowlands, and the Angles, Saxons, and Utes, together with their cousins the Frisians, took Britannia, forming the basis of modern England. The whole of the Western Roman Empire had fallen to Germanic tribes, and several kingdoms were now where her provinces had once stood. Germania Magna was, however, still wild and barbaric, with little in the way of the institutions and infrastructure in the Roman south. The Saxons, Thuringians, and Lombards still led a tribal life in the mostly undeveloped land. That is, until an unlikely new power arose in the ashes of Roman Gaul: the Franks. I recently took this channel full time, and in doing so I decided to revisit some of my older episodes to take a more serious and in-depth look at their history. Doing a series on Germany has been on the top of that list for a while, and so you can expect the same to happen with other videos in due time. In addition, I've also been building a website to act as a portfolio for my work, as a sort of digital resume. The whole process was made so much easier by Squarespace. You can check out my
Use the /Sweeney, guys.
Website in the link below, which I built using Squarespace's immensely easy to use drag and drop tools and templates to make any website look absolutely stunning.
I enjoyed that video
Having your own space
very
online
much.
is essential for any business, but also
Probably
are
for
great
personal
for personal
reasons.
use, including use as a working space for a project or hobby, or even to help plan and remember special events like weddings. It's perfect for beginners, and for advanced users, there is even the option to tinker with the coding. Now, Squarespace is offering a free trial at squarespace.com/Sweeney and a 10% discount on your brand new website by using the offer code Sweeney at checkout. That's SUIBHNE. These in English.
So much in this helped me out a lot. A few things helped me out a lot. But because I'm really want to get in, I am getting into Italy, mainly northern Italy, north of the Papal States, just Italian history post Roman Empire. I mean post, like at this time, like at the time where Western Rome is not a thing anymore. Okay, and Italy, I need to learn about that stuff, because a lot of the I need to. Okay, awesome video like always. Love it. Hope you guys are doing well. Really do. Chin up. If not, you'll be good soon. Don't worry. Emotions are fickle, my friend. See you next time.